President Obama wants and needs to create more jobs, and the governor of Utah might tell him to look at his home state. Utah's unemployment rate is 7.5%, below the national average, and only North Dakota has grown faster than Utah for the last 5 years. Utah Governor Gary Herbert is here in studio with us, and my guest host, Danny Blanchflower, remains with us as well. Governor, welcome to the show. We're expecting President Obama tonight to lay out a $300 billion infrastructure plan. Big part of that's going to be direct aid to state and local governments. What do you want to receive, and what will that do for job creation?
Well, I'm not looking to receive anything. Again, I understand the President's desire to help the states and help us be successful, but I think states need to take the responsibility themselves of creating a fertile atmosphere for the business community so that they'll invest. Capital is a coward. It only will come and play when it feels welcome and there's an opportunity for them to have success. So consistency, predictability, competitive tax rates, and minimal business regulations are what the private sector is looking for.
So you don't want any part of this stimulus plan? You don't believe it would help you prevent layoffs of school teachers or the police force, those workers who are looking to get cut?
Well, it might help in the short term, but we've got to think a little more long term on this issue. I think the fact that we've got some issues with a deficit of $14.5 trillion, you know, states can't keep coming with their hand out and say, give us more to prop us up and figure that the federal government's going to be able to balance their budget. They're not. We need to take less. In fact, I would suggest to the federal government, we as states will take less, just take away the strings. Give us more flexibility. We'll take less and we'll do more with less money.
But would you refuse this aid, just to be very clear?
Well, it just depends on what the program is. I'll have to wait and see what he's proposing and what it does, what it's going for. For example, transportation. We pay money into the transportation fund, and we hope to get some of that money back, you know, to build our roads and our infrastructure. So it depends on what he's going to suggest and what he's going to do. I'm just here to tell you that states have got to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem.
Governor, you've got, as we said, jobless rate of 7.5%. You've had growth 3.5% annually. You've got a low poverty rate. There are a lot of people asking right now, what is powering Utah's economics, particularly when they look at your predecessor, John Huntsman, who's making a bid for the presidency.
Sure.
How do you describe the economics that he laid out and you're continuing?
Well, I think it's the principles of creating a business-friendly environment. You know, capital wants to come and play where it believes it's welcome. Capital's a coward. We in Utah have tried to make Utah a welcoming place for business.
Low corporate tax rate.
We have competitive tax rates. We've lowered our tax rates, our income tax from 7 to 5, where we're competitive. We've done business regulation review. We're getting rid of business regulations. They're getting in the way of business. We're creating a great labor force. We have a significant emphasis on education, and we have high graduation rates and trying to get skills that align with the marketplace. We have a goal of 2020 by having 2/3 of our adult population to have some kind of post-high school certification or degree. Again, education is a key issue, I think, for us to have long-term sustained economic growth. So that environment creates opportunity for business to grow and thrive. And we are a very fertile field for business.
So clearly certainty is a really big issue, and you've talked about the certainty for businesses in Utah. One of the problems, see what your view is on it. Many people have argued the big problem right now at the federal level is this great uncertainty. Are the tax cuts going to, the Bush tax cuts, are they going to be renewed? What's going to happen? Would you say that's one of the big problems, that you've talked about the benefits of certainty in Utah? What about the costs of uncertainty in Washington?
Well, clearly, if you're a business person, you want to be able to know that if I play by the rules, if I invest, if I take the risk, that I'm going to have a chance to get the reward. That's the free market system, and that's what's taking place in Utah. We have estimates of $2 trillion that are sitting on the sidelines because of uncertainty in America. And in Utah, we've had the blessing of having been consistently conservative, even our Democrats, for a generation, which allows us to have some predictability and consistency where the business community says, hey, Utah is really a good place to go and invest because if I play by the rules, I'll have a chance to make a profit.
You've gone to great pains to bring in Chinese investment as well. And you hear Governor Romney also making a bid, start upping his rhetoric against China. That's got to worry you.
Well, again, I just came back from China this past May and had opportunity to meet with them. I look at China as competitors. 1.3 billion people, that's a lot of labor out there.
And a big market, though.
That's right. In fact, that's the right attitude.
Right.
I say, hey, that's 1.3 billion customers.
Right.
And then we'll sell them aerospace, we'll do medical device, we'll pharmaceuticals, our energy. There's opportunities out there in a global marketplace.
We got to
can
quickly go to
compete.
break.